Happy New Year. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's your old pals, Cash and Shram. That's right. It is the first episode of Derby Rocks for 2026, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Uh, yeah. I can't believe it. We've got Double N's birthday right around the corner. We've got Anderson's birthday right around the corner. I'm about to have a 1-year-old son, if you can
Oh
believe
my goodness.
the time is just flying by. I'm about to celebrate 10 years of roller derby. Just so many things coming up. Time is truly a made up and insane concept.
It is. It is. And it's a new year. It's now we have to I know I'm going to show my age here. Hold on a second, but if you write checks out and you write them out, you have to now put a new year at the end. And a lot of people, I know
Funny.
I barely use a
I was
check.
gonna say nobody writes checks, Cash.
I know, except I do on occasion. I do have a checkbook and I do,
That's
you know,
fair. I think I have checks somewhere like floating around the house, which is probably not great. I should get a hold of those. But yeah, I mean I have them. I just don't use them.
yeah, I rarely use them. It's a lot easier to do stuff online, save
Yeah.
yourself postage, and things like that.
Yes.
But
Absolutely.
But for those of us who do write checks still, you have to put 2026 in it now. Okay. It,
What's a stamp even cost these days, Cash man? Like 75 cents.
I have no idea because they don't even put the numbers on them anymore. They just call them forevers or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which, like, fine. Once I buy it, it better work forever. God damn it.
That's what they always kept telling you before they raise the price. They go, if you buy the forever
If
stamps,
you
you'll
buy
save
them
it.
now, yeah.
Yeah. I don't really mail.
Suckers.
I used to mail a lot. I mean, I do get mail on occasion, but it's like, but everything I do business wise is done pretty much online. So, everybody else is like that too. It's just
Yeah.
I'm late to it. I mean,
Yeah.
I've only discovered recently. It's like, oh, this is, I can wait till the last minute to pay this bill because instead of putting a check in and being a week late by the time they get it in the mail. So, because the mail's terrible anyways. Sorry,
Mail is
sorry
terrible.
if you deliver mail, I apologize, but I know that it's just not what it used to be. That's for sure.
I mean, it's I don't know. It's never been particularly great, and technology hasn't really helped it. So,
No, definitely not. And then, I mean, and then, it seems like they always are looking for people too. So it's probably, they're probably always shorthanded. This time of year too, around Christmas time, that's when they like, get your stuff in a week before, or you're not going to get it to by Christmas, things like that, you know. Oh,
yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I will say for the mail carrier specifically, like God bless you, because I'm not, walking through the snow and dealing with dogs and rain and this, that, and the other.
yeah. And,
So
be,
God
and,
bless
be,
them.
and being robbed, and things
Sure.
like that. So I'm sorry, I had something on the TV and I forgot to mute it.
That's funny.
I
No, you're good.
apologize.
You're good. I honestly didn't even really see. I'm deleting my email as we
Why
do
am I
this.
hearing TNA wrestling? What's going on? So
That's
yeah.
funny. Have they moved to AMC yet?
That's 2 weeks from today is their
Nice.
first
I'm
day.
actually excited. I don't mind TNA. Like I don't really watch AEW, but I'll watch some TNA.
Yeah, TNA is like that's where I met some of the guys I know that work in WWE right now too. So they
Sure.
started like Jeremy Borash, and some of the,
Yeah.
and so that we did, and they were always, when I did my wrestling show, WWE very hard to get people on to promote anything because they're so busy, and we're all such small little things that
Yeah.
they don't think we matter. But TNA always, always was willing to give us people all the time, and like I
Sure.
interviews and give us tickets for events, and we used to travel. Whenever they come around, they don't really travel that much, but they used to come to
No,
Elmira
not
every
too
once.
much.
Yeah, they come to Elmira. They came to Rochester once. We've seen them in Toronto a bunch of times. So, but they always were, they were trying to grow. So they were always willing to get people. So they used to give us a guest every week in the first couple of years, which is interesting because it's like not everyone's a great interview, even though you run out of great interviews, and then you get people like Alex Shelley and oops, sorry, I
Sure.
didn't say that.
You say that out loud.
Well,
Whoops.
he wrestles for WWE now, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I like TNA too. TNA, there's a lot of people from this area that have made it up there. So
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's in 2 weeks. So that's exciting for the wrestling world, at least, roller derby world. I don't know. I know that a lot of teams are still in a break right now, but this week I think is when everything starts up again too, I
Yeah, I
believe.
mean, it is, the new year, so people have their seasons going. I know I'm planning ours, and we've already got, some stuff scheduled. We haven't like signed any contracts just yet, but that's just because it's been the holidays and stuff. So I'm definitely going to get on that, and then we'll have something locked in here soon. A couple of things, quite honestly, which are pretty well good to go. So we'll have a couple of multi-game events out of town. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. We had just mentioned our 10-year anniversary, so I'm definitely looking forward to some derby here coming up. So
Yeah, that's
I've
cool.
got some stuff to talk about. I don't know. There's a little bit of derby going on, so we'll talk about
Yeah,
that
this
here.
weekend we got Post Mortimer joining us in the next segment talking about
Yeah,
Winter Wonder
great.
Jam, which is going.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week. We talked about it this week, but we're gonna.
Yeah, no, great segue. I love that. That was really good, Cash. That was awesome.
I was
That's
trying to find a
perfect.
way to work it in because there is some
No,
derby
it was
going on.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. I love it.
In fact, when you guys are hearing this, the first day will be done.
Yeah,
So
by the time you do hear this, we'll already have Friday in the books, but you'll still have Saturday and Sunday to come check it out at the Dome Arena. We've got the Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby putting on a big event all weekend long. We've got some big teams, Philly Roller Derby and some other teams coming in to play some tough games. So check it out. There's a lot going on. It's going to be great. And then we do have an adult scrimmage Saturday night at 7 o'clock. So for a $5 donation, if you're not already coming for any of the other event, you can come Saturday night for the scrimmage and pay $5 to get in. That $5 is going to go to the local food bank donation and so on. So not only is it a good thing to donate, but you can see some of your adult friends play roller derby for the first time in the new year.
yeah, and I think you can bring uh, things to donate as well. If you go to Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby's Facebook page, they have a list of things that they're looking for to donate to food cupboards. So definitely
Yeah,
check
and
it
you get
out.
like raffle tickets too, I believe, if you bring food. So if you donate stuff, you can get some raffle tickets and hopefully win some cool prizes.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what, and the weather is perfect for a winter wonder jam because
Sure.
it's like terrible out. It's
Yeah,
been
another really solid segue there, Cash. That was awesome. You're killing it tonight.
there we
Must have
go.
been doing radio a while or something. I don't know.
I just talked for
No,
an
it
hour
is. It is
before this.
truly awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is truly awful out.
Yeah, it is. So
Here we go.
yes, I mean, this is technically the second or the first day of January. So I
Yeah, I
mean,
get it. So it's the new year, it's January, it's winter. It makes sense that it's awful. But this week, man, has just been crappy. We had like a windstorm the other night. It actually like the wind was so bad it ripped a portion of my gutter off. And now it's just kind of hanging there and flapping in the wind. Um, so yeah, it hasn't been great. We've gotten a bunch of snow. I had to shovel. I spent like an hour outside shoveling today. I am beat.
yeah, yeah, I did too. I hadn't left my house since Tuesday until I went out to shovel today, and it was like, wow. It was we got hit with some stuff. I mean, it really didn't make for a great New Year's Eve night, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, no, not a whole lot going on, or not a whole lot that we could realistically do.
Yeah, but
But
it was still time to celebrate, man. It's like,
yeah,
hey, we made it through 2025. We got
yeah,
through
hey, another year.
the
I
year of
think
the snake is gone.
yeah, I think any year above ground or any day above ground is reason to celebrate. So it's hard to argue with you there.
I agree. I agree
Why
100%.
don't you? I saw you last Friday. Today's Thursday, so it's been not quite a week.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me about your week and your New Year's and all that?
All right. So yeah, we last saw each other last Friday, and I think it was like a snowstorm when
There was also a snowstorm that.
when we were leaving each other. Beyond, that was That was wonderful to get together and do the show in the studio. And you guys might have seen the video from we have in studio guests with Rad joining us, Mrs. Rad, Double N, Anderson. It was like a home Christmas, you know.
Yeah, it was
All we
awesome.
needed was I'm at Otter's Jug Band, and we are all set, you know.
Sure, I love that.
Yeah, so beyond that, the weekend, nothing. I'm trying to remember. I've had stuff to do. I know that for a fact. I know that I this past week I've been off, so I've been off since Christmas Eve. That was the last day I worked, and I don't go back to work until Monday, so that'd be the 5th of January. So that's why this tournament is perfect time because it's the
Yeah.
tail end of my time off. But I'm going to be calling the first two games on Friday. So heck, that's
Say,
unfortunately
make sure you don't announce every single game.
I'm not going to. Saturday I'm doing the first and last game, and there's like six other games in between that I've got people doing. So it's like, but
Nice.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, but that's in with being the case. That's why I actually today I taped my wrestling show that'll be airing
Sure.
on Saturday morning as well tonight. So that's probably why I'm all hyper or whatever, or all in radio mode. So
Jacked up talking about wrestling.
yeah, yeah, but well, yeah, it's definitely an interesting time of year, especially we just had WWE in town. Unfortunately, I did not go. I really
I
wanted
didn't
to
go
on
either.
Sunday. I wanted to, but it's like I just, you know what, TKO, the people that own WWE, buying it from, the McMahons, I guess you could
Can't
say.
afford it, dude.
Yeah, yeah, they just charge too much for the tickets. It's like it's especially for not good seats.
Yeah.
Good seats were ridiculous, and I think that they're going to learn. Then, when they have like 4,000, they did get 4,000 people. I'll give them that. They did honor my friend John Huber, Brody Lee. A couple
Yeah.
people on the show honored him during the night, which was great. I just couldn't be there, but that's okay because I had to go see I had a doctor's appointment this week. It's when I have a week off. I kind of like fill it in with things I need to do. I took my car for first oil change, my brand new car that I got in July,
Sure.
June, I mean, and I took it for and beyond that, I haven't I've been doing nothing but spending time with my dog.
Love that.
Yeah, Tara, and it's been, I was like, of course, being the dad last night to my kids, be careful out there, be
Yeah.
careful, and they are, and they're
Well, I mean, it didn't help that it was crappy out too. You know what I mean? If it was, if it was like 60 and really, really nice and no snow, you'd probably be less concerned.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would when I was younger, they used to do fireworks at midnight out in the city. And I remember we would go to like everything would be open till 4 in the morning at least.
Sure.
And so
Yeah.
we would go down and hang out some places and then go walk out to the Court Street Bridge or one of the bridges over the Genesee River and we'd watch the fireworks, and it would probably be 2 degrees and, but we'd have we have that liquid in us that kept us nice and warm. Yes, we'd have a few beers or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I was going to say radiator fluid, but not quite that. But so I know what kids get into and fun they can have and stuff. And they don't do that anymore though here. They have fireworks like 10 o'clock, I think it was last night, because I could hear
I
them.
don't know.
I could hear them rattling off the side of my house. Either that or someone was doing that up here in Irondequoit. But
I was
um,
gonna
you
say
know,
Irondequoit might have did theirs. I didn't think the city did theirs at 10 last night.
somebody was shooting fireworks last night. Maybe it's just some individual that said, "Hey, it's the new year. Yay, blow things up,"
Yeah, we had a lot of
Fire
that in the
guns.
city, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so but I do want to mention that on Christmas Eve I did get to watch some of the Sabres 10th win 10th.
Dude, it's so awesome.
That was exciting. I got to watch
And
the finals for Stranger Things. I watched
how was it?
it was, you know what, is very
You
good.
like
A little sentimental, at times, but very good. I was worried for all the characters. I didn't want anyone to die, and it was that's what
don't give away too much.
I'm
It's
not.
it's
I'm
just
not
came
giving
out
it away.
yesterday.
I'm not giving it away. I'll just say that it's, I got a little weepy at one point, I'll just
Sure.
throw that out there. And but it was well worth it. The weird thing is I was watching AEW wrestling from 8 to 10, and then I
Yeah.
watched Stranger Things after that, and it kind of it kind of went past midnight. So I
Uh,
paused it and then went to spent those 3 minutes with Ryan Seacrest and Dick Clark's rock roll and Christmas New Year thing or whatever it was. And
right.
then after
Yeah.
they
Dick Clark's rocking New Year's
yeah,
Eve.
after a minute in the new year, I went back and watched the rest of Stranger Things, and then now we're here now. So how about you? What's been going on with you this past week?
Yeah, man. So Friday was awesome. It was a great show. Like you had said, it was cool to have everybody in the studio. It was a lot of fun. Anderson's been on a couple of times now. This is, he's way more advanced since the last time he was on. So
Yeah, he
always
was making
fun.
noise. If you listen to it, you can hear him. You can
Yeah,
hear him.
he's making a lot of noise, and having fun. Um, Crappy weather, we had mentioned that. Um, Saturday was mostly relaxing. I had to work Saturday night. I forget exactly when. We've played in the snow with Anderson a couple of times. That's been quite a bit of fun. Today, he kind of had a bit of a meltdown because like his glove came off. Then he like took his foot out of his boot and then kind of fell in the snow. So he had a rough day today, but we've been enjoying playing outside. That's been fun. Um, Regular stuff other than that on Sunday before um, they left town this week, the Rads came over and we watched the Bills game, which, was a great game, another come from behind. They didn't end up winning this one, but they did try to go for two with like 1 second left or something like it was pretty wild. Fascinating ending to the game, and they absolutely could have won it. Josh Allen just missed the throw. Really didn't like plant his feet and kind of essentially lost the game. They would have had it, if he just put it on his hands, probably. So, but it's one of those things, we've already locked up a playoff spot. I don't think it was a horrible call. It was
No,
a fascinating call. And
it was terrible environment for football,
yeah,
man.
the
The weather
conditions
was
were not
terrible.
great. Yeah.
It rained until it snowed, and then it snowed. It was like,
So they did have to bring in a kicker who, um, hadn't had much experience lately. So he had been out of professional football for a little while, it
yeah,
sounds like,
Badgley. Yeah.
as our regular kicker, who's had a pretty darn good year, was out for a week with an injury. And yeah, so then the kicker who we had brought in missed the extra point earlier in the game, which, like, maybe had you not missed, maybe we don't go for two. So
Yeah.
that plays into it. It was whatever, wild, wild stuff.
If
But
he
the
didn't
Bills
miss it,
game,
if he didn't miss it, we would have won on an extra point.
yeah,
And
exactly. There
yeah.
you go. Right. Um, It took us a few days, but we did finish Christmas. We got all that done. So now we're working on getting the house cleaned up and kind of put back together because we have a very spoiled son and a bunch of toys, and stuff like that. It was a short week otherwise, because of the holiday. Not too much going on as far as work goes, just kind of going through the motions to get to New Year's Eve. We didn't do a whole lot last night because we do, of course, have Anderson. So I cooked a nice little like surf and turf dinner. We kind of just sat around and watched some TV. Dick did come over for a little bit. We played like a 3 minute YouTube dance party baby ball drop thing at like 10 o'clock for Anderson. And then just sort of sat around until like 12:05 and went to bed. So yeah, not a terribly exciting New Year's Eve, of course, because we have an infant, basically. So
When I was a dumb kid, I used to set the clock right up till about a minute to go on and put it back on the wall in the middle of the afternoon and take a picture to and then make you think that it was like midnight or whatever. And then of course you have to develop the film back then. It wasn't just something that showed up on your phone. So yeah, so that I mean it was kind of like the baby thing. I would like because I would not be up at midnight. I was
that's
up no, I was up last night. It was a miracle. It may have been the late coffee infusion. I don't know.
yeah, that'll happen. Yeah. No, but we went to bed shortly after. Like I think Jennifer had fallen asleep a couple of times, and yeah, it was a sleepy night. So again, not a whole lot going on. Did hang out with Dick for a few minutes, and then did that ball drop for the baby. Um, he had a fun time, like dancing and bopping around. But yeah, of course, he doesn't understand what's happening. So um, I don't know. Good days. I don't it's been tough to like keep up on what day it actually is. So I've just been existing. Again, time is made up and nonsensical. So we're really just getting through it. Lots of errands, like I had mentioned, cleaning the house, doing stuff like that. Today we did a fair amount of shoveling, which sucks. I hate it.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
For Christmas, I got an electric kettle, and I bought myself a nice carafe for pour over coffee. So I'm doing like pour over coffee now, which is cool. That's a fun thing, but it's also very like um, cooking meth. You need like the directions are like you need 66 grams of finely ground coffee and you need 228 grams or something. So they're literally like just break out your kitchen scale. Like I'm a pothead, so I have a scale, but like who just casually has a kit? Like I don't know many people. Not everybody has a kitchen scale that they can just weigh grams and stuff like that out on. So I found that to be fascinating. So I do enjoy it because you get like really flavorful, like very dark, especially depending on the grounds that you're using, like a nice, robust, tough cup of coffee. But man, like it's so weird, and you got to like swirl the water around, and you got to add water and make it bloom. The first step, once you've got it all set up, is to make the grounds bloom. And it's just silly, but I also freaking love coffee. So
Yeah.
it's like a hipster doofus sort of thing to do, but we're doing it. So whatever. Um, let's see. We've got geez, what else? I don't know. We've got the NFL playoffs here starting soon. Tomorrow will kind of decide our fate as far as who we play in the wild card game. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But we're likely if things don't change, we're likely going to have a tough path. So we need to win and then get some people to lose. So we might get a slightly higher seed.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we're going to play all of our playoff games on the road. So it'll be a very tough path to the Super Bowl, but we shall see. So,
Oh,
uh,
interesting. That means this weekend is the last game ever in the was it Highmark Stadium?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they don't host a playoff game there, then it's done this weekend. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly the last regular season game against the Jets. So tomorrow, it's kind of interesting. I've thought about asking if we could like switch practice because I want to watch, but it's also like we're also going to have the playoffs coming up on these Sundays.
yeah.
So it's like I don't want to try and switch too many practices because I know we're going to have more coming up here. And tomorrow's just a regular season game. While it is the last one in the stadium, it's not, the most important thing or anything like that. So, yeah, we've got that coming up. I don't know. And then this weekend, of course, I'm certainly looking forward to the Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby's Winter Wonder Jam. So, again, we've got teams from all over coming into town. It's going to be a big event. There's like 12 different teams, there's a bunch of different games. A lot of people, a lot of moving parts. So it's going to be awesome. Come check it out at the Dome Arena this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can go check out Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby on socials. And yeah, I'm excited, honestly, for a scrimmage. It's been since like August since I've really participated in roller derby. So, A, we'll see how it's going to go. But B, I'm really looking forward to having some fun,
Gotcha.
So this is kind of going to be, that test to see how much I might push myself for the season. If, maybe it's just time for me to coach. Who knows how it's going to go or what's going to happen. But we are, yeah, I don't know. It's awesome. Lots of good stuff. Lots of things to be positive about. 10 years of roller derby for me, 10 years of roller derby for Flower City Roller Derby. Lots of good stuff happening. I'm excited for our schedule. And again, I'm excited for this weekend, Winter Wonder Jam. We've got Morty coming on in the this second segment. You were kind enough to talk with Morty for a while, so why don't we go ahead and hit a commercial break?
Well, before that, just one little thing I want to add
Sure,
to,
yeah, hit that.
because we're not going to come back after Morty, so I want to mention a couple things I saw in the
Yeah, you
news
bet.
very
Go
quickly.
for it. I got some
So,
news pulled up over here too. We'll see what
okay,
you.
so we've got the Albany All Stars Roller Derby's having a recruit night coming up. They're looking for skaters and officials on and off skates. all are welcome. If you're interested or and you're able to attend, check them out at info@albanyallstars.com. And I figure we're within Albany's range that maybe some people might be interested in participating with the Albany All Stars. I mean, if I was in Albany, I would definitely be there. So, um, also, the Quad City Rollers are inviting community members to learn about the sport of roller derby through a 7-week boot camp beginning January 4th. Sessions will be held on Sundays from 9 a.m. noon to noon, and Wednesdays 6 to 9 p.m. Practices will take place at the Eldridge Community Center Roller Skating Park. Quad City Roller Derbies have loaner gear available for participants, and boot camp will focus on skating fundamentals, confidence building, and fitness. Check them out at their Quad City Rollers. Send them an email at their Facebook page if you're interested. And that's all the news I had.
Yeah, it's whatever. I really got nothing, man. It's fine.
Well, it's cool because we've got enough time that
Just post the one about all about roller derby, the Olympic speed skater Aaron Jackson's other sport.
yeah.
Cool. So make sure you go check out facebook.com/Derby Rocks if you're not. We appreciate those who follow us there. You're going to probably see more posts and less going live on Fridays. We don't know how much longer we're going to do this studio thing. So stick around as we have news and figure out how this show is going to look moving forward.
Yep.
But we do love and appreciate you. Yeah. Whether you listen on 106.3 WRFZ for the next however long, or you pick us up on facebook.com, like I just mentioned, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts, whatever the case is, we really do appreciate it. Thank you for sticking with us. It's been like 7-8 years that I've been doing this show, I want to say. So that's nearly 10 years for you.
Oh yeah, way over 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 years back in July. So coming up on 11. We're in 26 now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Time flies when you know what?
It.
We love this. We love talking about it. We love doing it. We love, being involved in it. So, and I'm looking forward to doing it more. I mean, I've put in for some playoffs this year with WFTDA. Nice. So we'll see what happens. I got actually a message from somebody about it. So it's like, I thought that was pretty cool that they actually contacted me. So I appreciate that immensely. Yeah.
Great stuff. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, brother. Well, let's get out of here. We're going to hit that play button. Stick around and listen to our interview with Cashman's interview. Really, thank you for doing that, Cashman. You're gonna hit play. We're gonna get to Post-Mortimer from Rock City Roller Derby, and I don't know, like the founder, the woman behind all of Rochester area's junior roller derby team. So, thanks again for hanging out with us. We'll catch you soon.
Joining us now is Rock City Roller Derby skater and Rochester area junior roller derby founder, Post-Mortimer. Thank you, Post-Mortimer. Welcome and Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. So obviously you are here to talk about the Winter Wonder Jam Invitational. It starts today. It's going, and runs through January 4th. But first, let's talk about Rochester area junior roller derby a little bit. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that and some other things as well. But, like on this show, we usually go and say, how did you find derby? And I think we've had you a few times, and it's like, just to reinforce that to people who might not remember the last time you were on, how did roller derby come into your life?
Roller derby was kind of always in the back of my mind. It was something that my great grandmother was interested in and watched in the nursing home. And she'd tell my mom that if she was just a little bit younger, she'd be out there with them. And that was a serious, truthful thing. She was also roller skating well into her older years. So that was kind of always there. And then when I was working at a previous job, I was teaching first aid and CPR, and one of the people that I was teaching first aid and CPR to was Farah, who told me about Rock City Roller Derby, and I had seen stuff at a parade before, and that was enough where when I finally had a little bit of free time, I was like, this is something that I'm going to try and do. And so I walked in the door and gave it a shot.
And Farah, you're talking to is Farah Days Rage, who used to be one of the co-hosts here on the show. You guys might
Yes.
remember Farah also used to do Roll for Initiative or whatever it was, and we'd go through the roller derby rule book every week, which always was kind of fun. But yeah, definitely, that's cool. I mean, it's like, did you have an athletic background at all? Did you like, did you play sports in high school?
Not really, no. Something that I'm a little bit known for talking about is how one of the reasons I like roller derby is because there's no sticks, no balls, and no running. I played soccer once a year, twice a year. I'd play for a year at a time and then take a year off. I did a little bit of skiing, but I never really stuck with anything except for skating. I did do a lot of skating around our neighborhood and inlines when inlines were a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That I will say that so what year are we talking about when you started here with Rock City?
Um, so I started with Rock City when at the time the baby was 6 months old. So that was 2015. So
Okay.
I am
I remember meeting you. We were doing I think I met uh the baby when
Cat Castle.
that's right, Cat Castle when we were doing the Rochester Comic Con, I think it was.
Yep, it was Flower
Flower
City
City.
Comic Con.
Flower City Comic Con. A friend of mine organized that whole thing. So he was looking for people to come fill tables, and it was very easy when you offer up those tables for people to come fill. I remember, yeah, that's what I remember. At least that's remember Cat Castle. I remember because I've got pictures on my phone, believe it or not, of Cat Castle there. And it's funny because every once in a while it'll pop up on my phone and be like, oh, I should send this to Morty, because it's like such a long time ago. But that's very cool. So so what inspired you to start Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby? What because you are the person behind this, right? This is
Co-founder.
co-founder.
There's two grown-ups involved, and at the time a handful of children that kind of inspired it.
Sure.
So Rosie the pivoter, also was known as Mothra back at the time, and she had a daughter who was working on her Girl Scout Silver Award project, and she actually came to some of our games and worked alongside us because that was part of her volunteer hours was coming to Rock City Roller Derby games and helping run the front end. So Pippi would come and run that with us. And when she was working on her award, we said, let's all see what we can do and make this happen. And then I have the older two kids, Astronauty and Abysmal. And at that point in time, Queen City was only female division, and if they let you practice as a boy, it would be as a ref only. So Astro was starting, and they really wouldn't let him play. So we had a kid who couldn't really play. We were driving an hour and a half twice a week, both directions. It was a lot of driving around, and so being able to do that here in Rochester instead really opened up a lot of doors for us. So we kind of went with it.
Very cool. I was gonna say it's it's been around quite a long time now. It's how many years would you say? 6 years now?
Yeah, so our first game was in May of 2019.
Okay.
So we'll be going on 7 years.
I mean, that's a good guess by me too. As long as I've worked my new job. So, Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby is a very visible league, and what I mean by that is every parade in Rochester, we see Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby marching. You guys get as much exposure as you can. Is this part of the business model to getting, bolstering the lead? Is this, is it always like to get out there in the crowd and show people what they could do? Because it seems like you get these waves of new people coming in all the time, and it's you guys are out there a lot.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's way different about juniors than about adults is that kids age out predictably, where with adults, you can have people that keep on playing for 10 years or 15 years at a time. But it's pretty much a guarantee that if somebody starts when they are 8 years old, they've got a maximum time with your league of being there for 10 years. And if we don't find them until they're 13 or 14, then we'll only have them for 4 or 5 years before they have to move on to another league. And, we love it when they stay involved. We've got a couple of people that come back and help out or that help coach, help be an official. But pretty much it's a rule. The kids are going to move up, move on and go out into the adult leagues. So we have to constantly keep new people coming in. So there's that. And then as far as the business model goes, like we are a small little not for profit. So yeah, the more kids we've got, the more options we have. If we're looking for a better space that we want to move into, that's how we fund it is by having kids that want to play roller derby come and play roller derby.
That's awesome. I was going to say, and it seems to you have a steady flow in, I mean, and because you are working on our seventh year here now, we've seen a lot of the other like bigger leagues around the country that have had juniors for a lot longer and them feeding the adult teams in their area and stuff. But you still seem to be able to pick up a lot of recruits every year, and it's a lot of hard work. It doesn't come easy. I mean, walking in parades are kind of fun, but it's like you're always on, right?
Yeah, I mean it you have to have fun. It has to be a good time and we hope that people feel welcome. Like there's always times where people aren't going to feel like they fit in, but we want to make sure that that's because of choices they're making and not because of anything we're doing. So we think that roller derby is for everyone and that's also a big part of our plan, our master plan is making sure that people all feel welcome and involved. So we do everything we can to make sure that people can come and play derby with us or help out with derby.
That's very cool. That's kind of leads right into my next question is as adults roller derby, there's many participants in all leagues, and they all are there for one reason or another. Some, a lot of times because derby is very welcoming, and so what are some of the things that juniors, coming in get out of it? Like how do you? I mean, obviously you have to sell it to the parents too, because because you have they're not adult roller derby. You don't have parents bringing you there and dropping you off. So that's another factor in how juniors, continue to grow and things like that. But, what are some of the things that the juniors do get out of it that you can like use as a selling point too?
I mean, there's definitely the social aspect of it. There's the physical and exercise aspect of it. And those are probably the two biggest things is it's a team sport with people that are maybe around your same age, maybe not. Um, and so that social piece though really comes into play more when now we've got kids from different school districts and kids from different age groups because we have everyone from 6 and 7 year olds right through kids that have turned 18 this season. And yes, we break them up into groups, but they have a chance to really get along and meet people from all different phases of life right there in our league. And then those parents come in and meet too. So we've got kids from the city and kids from the suburbs and kids from out in the farm country an hour away. And we've got um, older kids and younger kids. We've got homeschooled kids. We've got kids that go to public schools. We've got a little bit of everything. And so it really gives the kids a chance to meet and mix and mingle with kids from all over the place, along with still being able to do some physical activity. And then something we've discovered as parents is that you can't really just join sports in middle school anymore. Like it used to be, you could get to high school, have never played soccer before, and go ahead and play soccer. And now you're not going to be making your high school soccer team unless you've been playing for 10 years already by the time you get there. But you can walk onto your roller derby team. And yeah, you might not hit level 3 in your first season, but you can come and play and you're not going to be the one who doesn't know what's going on.
Very cool. Very cool. So, and that's great. And also just I think the camaraderie, with not only players on your team, but, players in your league and also, teams you play too, as well, because kids, this may be the first time a lot of kids do trips, and do like trips to play outside of Rochester. And it really is cool that, that you give them that opportunity, all different levels to be able to do that. So that's a big, very big, cool thing. So how has Rochester area junior roller derby grown over the years? Now that we're talking 7 years now, how has it expanded?
So we were pretty steadily small right through COVID. Up until that all happened, we would have anywhere from 4 kids to 10 kids at a practice and usually closer to 4. And then when COVID came along, one of the other local leagues said, you know what, we don't have enough for a travel team. And we were looking at the head count that they had, and we were looking at who we kind of were coming back from COVID with. And we said, we have enough for a travel team. And so we kind of pushed that direction a little bit. We also came back and had a new location that we could work with, and that allowed us to kind of recruit and have a solid home. And so that was nice. Um, and so that first year back from COVID, we went from having had previously, 4 to 10 skaters to having 30 or so skaters. And then we moved into the bigger facility that we call the Hob and ended up with about 40 skaters. And now this year we're somewhere around 50 to 55 skaters, pushing 60 at times.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Still here.
So it kind of just has expanded a little bit at a time. Having awesome coaches helps. We have some really dedicated coaches. And so they both help kids come back, but also they do a great job of recruiting because the coaches' kids are the ones that tend to bring in their friends and then more from there. So
Very cool. So I was going to ask you, how do you find new places to get your name out? That's, is that one of those things where you like brainstorm before the season starts or before training camp starts?
you're giving me a lot more credit than I deserve for that one. It's,
Okay.
oh, I can show up here. Hey, can somebody show up there? Hey, let's go over here. And we do what we can to put shirts on people so that they've got something that inspires people to talk about it. And, there's always the joke that being vegan and you go and you tell everybody about how vegan you are. And well, we play roller derby and I go and tell everybody about how we play roller derby.
Sure.
And in our house, it's a whole family affair where out of the 5 of us that live here, 4 of us play roller derby. So actually, there's only 4 of us that live here now, but
Yeah.
same idea.
I get you. I get you. Very cool. So Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby has hosted playoffs in the past, and now they're set to play in the playoffs in Pittsburgh this year. How does the juniors play? How does the juniors playoff work? Before the season even starts, you've already got a playoff where you're going to be playing.
So it kind of goes back to that piece of the kids age out. They're going to grow up and move on. So from year to year, one team to the next can really have a huge variation in how they perform. So doing rankings is really, really tough. Anything that carries over from one year to the next, it's virtually impossible to rank. Um, Teams that have made playoff runs in the past may or may not make them in future years. So this year, going to postseason, one of the teams that's actually coming to Rochester, or one of the teams that's actually here in Rochester for the Winter Wonder Jam tournament is K County out of Indiana. And they're going to playoffs this year, but they weren't even doing sanctioned games last year. So how do you rank them? And so we're looking at when we're sitting there setting up this tournament, how are we going to rank this team? Are they going to outperform us? Are we going to outperform them? How do they compare to these other two teams that we've seen before, but have also grown and changed and have completely different kids in them than they did 3 or 4 years ago? And trying to figure out how that's all going to match up. There's really no good way of figuring out how this year's group of 13 and 14-year-olds is going to rank against last year's 17 and 8-year-olds or next year's kids that will be 14 and 15 but have a whole another year of experience. It just consistently is changing. That's the one consistent thing, is that you don't know. So they have rules set up that you need to play a certain number of games. You play those games, they look at how those games go to figure out what your rankings are, and then you can go to playoffs. Once you're at playoffs, you have to win in order to advance.
Of course. Yeah.
So,
Very cool. So Winter Wonder Jam is coming to Rochester this is Friday.
today.
So today, tomorrow, and Saturday. But you've got teams like you mentioned, K County is coming, and you got Philly. You've got
Yep.
Mid Hudson Mischiefs. Black Rose is coming up here with their juniors, and you got, and we're not only talking just like level 3, which is the same rules as adult roller derby, but the level 2s and level 1s as well that are going to be here. But when did you start like putting this lineup together for what's going to be here this weekend?
So last year we had Winter Wonder Jam. So this is actually our second annual Winter Wonder Jam.
Really? Sorry. Yep. I was there.
And we really liked the idea of it. We need to have 8 games in this season, and kind of kickstarting the season off where we get 3 games in the very first weekend that it's possible. So there's right off the bat, these 3 teams get 3 games in, and we're well on our way to qualifying to go to postseason. Can't beat that. So we knew that that was something we wanted to do. And then in Rochester, we think that one of the good ways of making sure that these kids have opportunities to play level 3 games is to have opportunities to play level 1 and level 2 games. So we do what we can to give them games to play, and then also to bring in other kids that can play those kids as well. So today, our 2 home teams just played, and well, our 4 home teams, the Rocker Sharks and Jet Bombs.
Yeah.
They just played, and then tomorrow 2 of them will play the Mischiefs, and then on Sunday 2 of them play the Upskate team, so that they all have an opportunity to play against real opponents, even though they're still just playing level 1 and level 2.
Gotcha. And also it mixed in there as well as there's going to be an adult scrimmage on Saturday night, which is, a little added incentive. A lot of people coming to town, I'm guessing, have skater parents, and they not only do they get to watch their kids all weekend, but they get to possibly participate in a scrimmage at, I think it's 7 o'clock on Saturday, which is always a lot of fun too. And then I'm sure the kids will all be super excited for that too as well. This is going to be a lot of fun here in town. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be at the Dome, the Minette Hall in the back of the Dome. So you come on out, and we'll talk about prices and stuff in just a second. I want to ask you some more questions first, though.
Okay.
Okay. So you ever worry about getting derby burnout?
Don't we all?
Yeah. And how?
I've been posting to our social media for the league, and there's been a lot of counting down the days. And at first I was doing a pretty good job of hitting every single day for about 2 weeks. And then it was every third day. And then the past couple of days leading right up to the tournament, I'm like, this is where I should really do that last 3-day push. And oh, look at the weather. It's perfect for Winter Wonder Jam with all the snow on Tuesday and over the weekend. And I haven't gotten any of those posts out lately. So the burnout thing is definitely a possibility, but we've had some really good luck. I've had other junior roller derby league leadership tell me about how the parents are the worst and they don't help out. And that has not been our experience in Rochester at all. We have so many of our parents that have said, yeah, sign me up. So they've signed up to do track maintenance. They've signed up to do running our merch table, running our front end. We have about 10 or 11 families where more than one person from the family have signed up to be officials. So
awesome.
They really pitch in and pull the weight, and that makes a huge difference in that burnout piece, because if I'm not right here, there's somebody else that can pick up the slack.
Yeah, there we go. And it's not that you don't have, you're not doing anything else. Like I believe you're playing this year for Rock City. What you're playing for?
Yep, I'm on the B-sides again this year.
Yeah, so congratulations on being on the B-sides. I know that sometimes when you have limited availability, the B-sides are a good option. And I'm sure it's going to be a great season. So now the question is, where do you find the time?
Between 2 part-time jobs that ended up being just about full-time. It's a little bit tough sometimes. And so I've got my oldest 2 are both out of the house right now at school. So it's just the youngest one. And she gets to go along with me to Derby whenever it's kid-related Derby. Whenever it's junior Derby, Cat Castle has to come with me because that's where I'm going to be.
Sure.
So if she wants a day off, she can have a day off, but it's going to be over there in the corner because this is still where we are.
Gotcha. Yeah. I understand that completely. So let's talk a little bit about goals for 2026. So what are your goals for Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby for this year coming up?
Man, I think they're kind of the same as they always are. I want the kids to have a good time. I want the kids to enjoy Derby, learn Derby, be able to take it other places. I want them. There's the meme going around about how do you be about being the person that doesn't make other people quit Derby. And I'd really like to see our whole league be the people that make other people want to stay in Derby because we like staying in Derby. And I think that it should be fun. If it's ever not fun, we've got a problem that we need to take a look at. And what I think would be even better than that is if while they're having fun, if they can get a couple of wins under their belt too, that's even better, as long as it makes sure that the other kids are also having fun that are coming to play us and be our opponents.
Well, definitely. I get that. What about what are your goals for yourself as a skater?
Um, this year, my goals for myself as a skater is to get to practice a little bit more often. I've definitely been, when I have to miss something because my schedule is tight, I usually will miss adult practice before I miss kid practice. So getting myself to adult practice a little more often so I can do some learning and growing there. I'm really excited about our coach this year. So I think that it's going to be a great season and I want to make sure that I get there for it.
Very cool. So in your years as a skater, what memories stand out? I know that's kind of a broad, generic question, but
Yeah. I mean, a couple of the big ones were going to All Eight tournament in Worcester, Massachusetts. We went 2 years in a row with my team, and it was not the first year that Rock City had taken the B-sides to that tournament. So my first year that we went, we were we had won our way through the bracket. We were down to our last game. There was a couple minutes left in the game, and it was literally in the last jam. The points were going back and forth, and we pulled out the win in literally the last jam. It was tied right up through that last jam. Following year, same thing going on. Don't talk to Fifi about this one.
yeah.
We get down to the last jam. Points are going back and forth. We only had 8 skaters available by the tail end of that game. I'm not sure what all happened. So we were going out by twos. 2 people would stay on, 2 people would come off. One of the people that wasn't on would be the jammer the next time. It was a lot. And it came down to the last jam, and the coach is shouting, wait until the clock says 0 and then call it off. And the jammer called it off before the clock said 0, and the other team called an official review as a timeout, got the extra jam, and we lost by 4 points in the last 3 seconds of that game.
I remember. I remember, yeah, a lot of, yeah, I remember there both the times and all the times I remember I've been with the Rock City roller derby teams that you've been undermanned every time you've gone to that tournament, I think, because I remember I remember you won it. He said he won it with 8. So I remember Barry was telling me that, and it was like, and then yeah, you had someone who had to sit in the last game or something happened. And I remember,
well, we had, so it was wait until the clock gets to 0 and call it off. But there was so many words and there was so much going on and the clock was so close to 0. And we had 2 people in the penalty box. So our jammer had lead jammer. And if she had even if she had gotten a penalty.
I'm sorry. I hope you're feeling okay.
I'm great. This is the end of a cold that I had 2 weeks ago. It just keeps on doing this every now and then.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so we had just seconds left in the game when she was on the track with lead. If she had gone to the penalty box, we would have won. But by calling it off, it gave them the opportunity to start with the upper hand. And they started with the upper hand and finished with the upper hand.
Oh, bummer. That, yeah. Well, that, and that those are the plus and minuses of the business. I was going to say, are there any particular ones that you remember that make you, it's like fond memories that make you like, oh yeah, I'm not going to miss a year. I'm coming back,
Man, most of my memories are pretty positive. Like any of the ones where you have those moments where you're like, ooh, I don't know about this part. There's a fun part too. So you have the hotel after party where they come and drag you out of your room at 3 a.m. But how many people in their 40s can say that they had a after party for their team where somebody came and dragged them out of their room at 3 a.m.? Like, do I want it to happen every day? No. Once a year? Okay.
It's about it. It's about enough to kill you. So how can people get tickets to the Winter Wonder Jam this weekend?
So we do all of our tickets at the door. Mm-hmm. For the whole weekend, it's $20 at the door for the whole weekend. If you're doing just Friday or Sunday, which are two shorter days, it's $12. And if you're just coming for Saturday, then it's $15, and that's for the entire day.
Sounds like a good deal. Definitely a good deal. So, I'll ask you one more question, and then I'll let you go get to some cough medicine or something like that. Uh,
Seriously.
what is your exit plan from the grand sport? You know, is there an exit plan? I mean, you have the juniors, you know, I mean, those are always in your back pocket there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the juniors, it's also the parents. And so right now, I still have one who's got years to go. I've got one who's aging out, and I have one who's already aged out. And every year, we've had a couple of people pick up a little bit more slack and pick up a couple more jobs so that I'm a little bit less necessary than I was the year before. So this year, I've got a family where one parent is running the front end, one parent is running bout production. I've got a retired from Derby family who is our head NSO for the weekend. I've got, we've got some great tournament head officials actually that don't all have horses in this race. Corporal Chaos and Veronica Scars don't have kids that play Derby. Tex Sass, his daughter grew up and isn't playing with juniors right now at all. So we've got those people that are coming in and taking over. And so the goal is kind of that it doesn't have to be an all at once kind of a thing, and that just it will become its own self-fulfilling,
Sure.
rotating organization that can always have people in charge that know what's going on and how to do it. Having new coaches come in, be able to coach the kids. They're starting to settle in. Everybody's kind of got a spot that's a sweet spot. So hopefully we add in one or two more to our coaching staff to take some of the pressure off as people have things that they need to go and do. But, basically we just keep on working on getting good people in the right spots.
That's awesome. I was going to say, it's kind of like when we started the fear, we wanted to start the fear so that other people could take it from us eventually and continue on.
Yes.
And I think, I think that's what you were saying. I was getting the feeling that that's, it's like, you won't have to be there forever to keep them going. It doesn't mean you're not going to be there, but it's just saying that you don't, it's not necessary. So I think that's awesome. I do want to let people know that you're probably going to hear my voice if you come. Okay. Now listen, I know sometimes that's like grading, you don't want, but we're going to have a whole slew of people doing announcing. That's not just me. So that's even better.
Just promise me at least once that you'll let slip out that it's real concrete out there.
I'll work it in. I have not used that in a couple of years, and it's like
I know I miss it.
I'm waiting for the people to say drink because I've heard that before when I've said it. So it's like the drink, playing the drinking game. No. But it's like
it's juniors, so you don't even have to drink when you say it this time.
Oh no, but yeah, well, yeah. That's true. We'll see. We'll work it in, but I'm looking forward to it. So it's let's plug the deets one more before I let you get out of here. Winter Wonder Jam Invitational going on this weekend at the Manette Hall Dome Arena, and I believe, if I'm looking at it correctly, that games start. Well, we already have all the games done for today, but game for Saturday, first game's at 9,
Yep.
Second game's 11. Then we got 1 o'clock for the next game, 3 o'clock for the next game, 5 for game 7, and for game 8, which would be the what they call it, the Pantry Charity Mixer. Is that what they're calling it?
It's Winter Wonder Jam the Pantry.
Jam the Pantry. Yes, we got people that bring things to donate, food and things to donate. There's rules on the if you go to the Rochester Area Junior Roller Derby Facebook page, it'll tell you exactly what kind of things we're looking for.
Yeah, because Rock City is doing a raffle basket with all sorts of prizes if you bring stuff for the pantry for that. We have our regular charity partner, Sample Soap, who we always have at every single one of our bouts. And they'll be there again, or they're here this weekend. So we've got those guys all weekend long. But then Rock City is doing the Jam the Pantry charity bout. All the proceeds from their bout go to the St. Peter's kitchen and food pantry.
There we go. So you know what? You not only you get some incredible juniors derby, but you also bring in a nice you can bring some stuff to donate and make someone else's life better. But then Sunday we've got the first games at 9:30, then 11:30, and then we've got 1:30 and 3:30 is the last game of the day.
Pretty much every 2 hours.
every 2 hours. So it'll be a blast. You'll have a lot of fun. There'll be lots of merch tables there. Any food? You got any food coming? Is it?
We have a parent who is doing concessions for all of the officials. And what we know about him is that as he finishes up feeding the officials, he takes whatever is left and offers it to the spectators and skaters as well.
I remember that
So,
from last year. That was awesome. Yeah, some great food.
yes.
I remember announcing so much last year. I didn't have time to eat, but I'll try to make some time. I've got
That
other
was a
people.
goal for this year. We hoped that we would have a little bit more time in between for everybody to
Yeah.
get some food, the officials, the announcers, the medics,
Right
you
now,
know.
I'm set for the first game and the last game on Saturday, so I'll be there all day. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for giving me some time to talk about it. I'm always happy to do this every year. I can't wait, and hopefully, we'll all have a blast, and you can get some merch. You can have some, and come watch some great roller derby, and bring some things to donate, and we'll all have a great time. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the parents. I know some of them already, and the
Yeah.
volunteers, so it's going to be a great time. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Cashman.
You're very welcome.